I'm Stephen O. Craig.
I'm Lee A.I.D.
And this is the 12th episode of The Movie Review Show!
Okay, the Movie Review Show is when Stephen and I go to the Red Wing Cinema 8, our local movie theater, and we watch a new release, and we review it.
We use a popcorn rating system, 1 to 10 popcorn. 1 popcorn being the worst, and 10 popcorn being the best.
The movie we are reviewing today is a story about the quest for power, betrayal, murder, alienation, redemption, and all without a single human being in the entire film. And it's The Lion King.
And here's the trailer.
Life's not fair, is it, my little friend? While some are born to feast, others spend their lives in the dark. Begging for scraps.
Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance. While others search for what they can take, a true king searches for what he can give.
Run away, Simba, and never return.
You must take your place in the circle of life.
It's time for the review. My sister suggested that Lee and I watch both the animated and live-action films so we could compare them. So we did. At the end of the review, we're going to give our scores for both. I'm going to go on a rant here. Some of the most important moments in the live-action movie were either omitted or changed. Disney, take the risk and do the live-action movies exactly the same as the animated films, no matter how crazy the scenes are. Don't try to rewrite them, they're perfect the way they are. There's a reason why people love them so much. If you want Disney, you can add scenes, but don't leave out or change the original scenes. And that is my rant. Here's the review. The live-action Lion King starts very similar to the animated one. The sun rises, there's animals that walk to Pride Rock, and Rafiki holds up Simba, and that's the beginning of the movie, pretty much the same as the animated version. The animals and scenery looked, in my opinion, great.
If you like nature documentaries, they did.
Yep. Let's see. James Earl Jones does Mufasa's voice in both films, and I thought he did perfect.
He was maybe one of the few positive aspects of this movie. Yeah, Mufasa's voice was done fine. Both. Yep.
He nailed it.
Yep, very good.
Okay, now we start getting the parts that weren't so good.
There's a lot of them.
Oh my gosh.
Boy.
Jeremy Irons is a way better Scar than Chiwetel Ejiofor. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right.
I'm not even trying to pronounce the new. I mean, both British actors. But that's as far as the similarities go. I mean, Jeremy Irons is legendary theater actor. You can see why. I mean, he gives so much complexity to the character. I have it that he's, even though he's evil and cunning and ambitious and violent, he's also can be droll, sarcastic, and downright funny. So in the original one, Scar is always interesting whenever he's on screen, and even his appearance is more interesting and appealing than the original. The new one, it's Scar is just so watered down. His appearance is less interesting, and his character is less interesting. the actor, I'm sure he does a fine job normally, but for voice acting, there's just no comparison.
I completely agree with you on that. Let's see. The laughing hyenas in the live action movie aren't very funny, and that was a major disappointment.
Yep.
Because in the original anime version, there's this hyena named Ed, who I thought was hilarious.
No, they're all three are hilarious. Yeah, and the new one, they're dull and boring, and
I don't know why they went in that direction, but they didn't make them funny, and I'm like, that's like one of the main positives of the hyenas and the animated. And Whoopi Goldberg does a much better job as the female voice of the one hyena in the animated than the way he does in the live action, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. I totally agree.
Okay, now we're on to the very nitpicky part. People may or may not agree with us on this one, but I thought that Nathan Lane and Ernie Sabella were much better Timon and Pumbaa than Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen. Now, Seth Rogen is a very, very good actor. I love Seth Rogen, but I did not feel his Pumbaa was as good as Ernie Sabella's.
No, and also the way they did it, like in one of the pivotal scenes, where the sentries are distracted. In the new version, they have only Pumbaa's in that. But in the original, you have, Timon and Pumbaa and Timon both are in it. He's doing the hula or whatever. But this one is just the warthog. So I didn't like that either. I mean, I thought they should have had them both in there like the original.
Okay. There were two positives I have of the new movie. I thought the Stampede was done well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and
definitely.
I thought the final battle with Simba and Scar was done well. It wasn't perfect, but it was good.
Sure.
I mean, overall, I have to say, the new movie was kind of a disappointment.
A major disappointment.
Yeah.
I compare it to the cast, all the animal cast being like vampires. I mean, they look like normal sentient beings on the outside, but on the inside they're dead. It's like almost like watching a staged nature documentary. I mean, the animals look realistic, but
there were actually 2 times when I was watching the movie where I was thinking, I'm kind of bored.
I mean, I know. Me too. More than that. It's like in the original, you're never bored.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is just, I think Disney really just sucked the life out of the story. I mean,
really quick, I wanted to add this. Before the movie started, a trailer showed up, and the first thing I saw in the trailer was an Asian woman, and I went, no. And I'm like, really? And then they showed the movie title, and it's Mulan. And I'm like, how many of these movies are Disney going to rehash from the animated versions? I mean, it's like, it's getting ridiculous, dude.
At first I was excited about it, but now after seeing a couple of them,
it wouldn't be so bad if they were all really good, but they haven't all been really good. So it's like, come on, Disney, do something new. Don't rehash everything over and over and over again. I know you guys want to make your money, but, it's like, take a risk. Do something artful. It's like, I don't know.
They're taking the path of least resistance. It's like energy conservation in physics. We're going to expend the least amount of energy or effort to make the same amount of profit. So instead of getting fresh ideas, they're just going to rehash old ones and use updated technology and call it good.
And that's sad. That's really sad.
And the really sad part is there'll still be a lot of people who go just because it's Disney.
And this movie, a lot of people, I've at least talked to one person, I overheard another person, and they really liked it. And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that like this movie, but if you compare the two, it just wasn't that great.
Well, I think a lot of kids who haven't seen the original, so they have nothing to compare it to. So for them, the watered-down, sedate version is fine. But for adults who have seen both, I don't understand their thinking how they can like the new one. But
okay, we're going to give our scores. First, we're going to give our scores for the animated version. We did not know each other's scores at all.
You mean the live action?
Well, no, we're going to do the animated version first.
Oh, you want... Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we'll do the live action, if that's cool.
Oh, sure, yep.
Okay, so the animated version, and we're not going to change our scores. These are our scores that we already came up with. I'm going to give the animated version a 10. Easily, in my opinion, a 10. I had no problem with anything in the movie. I thought the movie was perfect.
Yeah, I almost gave it a 10. I gave it a 9.5. I could have easily given it a 10. I mean, I can't really think of anything that's wrong with it, but
I thought it was a wonderful movie. The original anime movie was just wonderful.
script, animation, the voice actors, the music, yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Now it's time for our scores for the live-action version of The Lion King. And I think I'm being very generous when I give the score, but I'm going to give it a 7.5 popcorn. What's your
Boy,
score?
You were generous.
I think I was generous, but that's how I feel the score I should give it.
Very quickly becoming curmudgeony or whatever you want, but I gave it a 0.5.
Oh boy, a 0.5. Oh my gosh.
Just because I was so disappointed.
It
They
was
took a great
disappointing
story
movie.
and they did this. They just basically slapped new technology on the exact same story. And the parts they did change, they changed for the worse. So that's my reasoning for that minuscule score. But
Well, next we're going to show our scores for both the animated and live-action movies. And then we're going to look up Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic to see how close their scores are to ours. And I think that's going to be very interesting when we look at these scores, don't you? Here we go.
Very interesting.
We're looking at Rotten Tomatoes to see what their score is for the animated version of The Lion King. Ooh, 93% on the tomato meter and 93% for the audience score. So the critics and also the audience really like the animated version.
As well they should. Yep, is got nominated for a bunch of Oscars. So yep, cool.
Next, we're going to look up the score for the live-action version on Rotten Tomatoes. Ooh, 52% on tomato meter, which means the critics did not like the new movie. But the audience score is 89%, so overall people liked it.
And the average moviegoer is kind of delusional, so
Oh.
not delusional. I mean, let's say easily duped, but well, they see it's a Disney movie, so they just assume it's gonna be good. Leave it at that.
Okay, next we're going to be looking at Metacritic. We're looking at Metacritic to see what score they gave the animated film. 88%. Yep,
Oh, yep.
they liked it.
Yeah, and there's only 5 percentage points behind.
What is there not
the
to like,
tomato
though?
meter, so I know exactly.
Okay. Next, we're looking at Metacritic's score for the live-action version of The Lion King. Ooh, 55%. They did not like the movie either.
Yeah, just about half. So yeah, they're basically a mediocre movie.
Yeah, I think I was very generous in my score because it was not a great movie.
Yep, amen to that.
Yeah, I gave it a score of 7.5. A 7.5 to me is it's worth seeing, but it's not a great movie. So
I wouldn't go that far, but
next is Steven's weekly recommendation. It's time for Steven's weekly recommendation. What is Steven's weekly recommendation? Each episode, I recommend something that I think is awesome. This episode's recommendation is The Elder Scrolls Blades by Bethesda. What is Blades? It's a basic Elder Scrolls game for your phone. It's an early access game, so it's still in development. For example, some of the dungeon areas are repeated. The graphics are quite impressive for a phone game, and the latest news is it's coming to the Nintendo Switch. If this is the future of phone games, we have a lot to look forward to. Here's the trailer. It's the last part of the show, which means it's time for Lee's Jokes of the Week.
Yay! It's gonna be a wild segment. Okay, first joke. Why is the Lion King movie so good?
I don't know.
It's filled with Simba-lism. Simba-lism. Thank you. Number 2. Why did Simba not win any of his track and field events that he entered?
I don't know.
He couldn't move Fasa enough. Fasa.
Huh?
Fasa Master. Number 3. Oh, yes. There's a big drought at Pride Rock.
No.
All the animals resorted to cannibalism except the lions. They held out to the very end, and then they finally had to swallow their pride.
Oh.
Oh, boy. And the last joke, hopefully not least, there's going to be a sequel to Lion King, believe it or not. It's going to be called Chorus Lion.
Haha.
And the main M-A-N-E character will be a lion, of course, and will have such musical hits as You Can't Hide Your Lion Eyes, Your Lion Heart, and of course Johnny Cash will come back from the dead and sing Walk the Lion.
Oh my gosh.
And that's all we have.
Well, thank you all for watching, and as always, we'll be watching
For you.